Hey guys, I just want to tell you a story. So yesterday I was driving home after teaching late at night. It was dark out. I pulled into my parking space around 8:30 and I get out of the car and I look down at the ground and there's a snake in the parking lot right next to me. And I was like, "Hey, dude, what are you doing here? Like, why are you just standing, like sitting there right by my feet? Like, why aren't you moving? What's going on?" And it's dark out. So I take out my flashlight and I look closer and it's wounded. On the side of its body, there's like kind of like its innards are like sticking out, bloody guts, like kind of bulging out. And it must have gotten punctured or bitten maybe by something or something, but it was wounded and it was sitting there. And it's kind of looking at me and it's trying to slither, and you could tell it's in pain and it wasn't able to get very far. And I came into my house and I told my son, who loves snakes, and I was like, there's a snake outside and he's wounded. Let's go look and see what we can do. And we went outside and, it kind of was wiggling its way under the wheel of my car to find like a safe space to just rest. And we were like, we need to try to help this snake." So we start calling wildlife rescue, and one number, nobody's there. Another number, nobody's there. We call an emergency vet and they're like, "No, we don't deal with snakes." And then I was like, let me call the local police department. And they gave us a phone number for some wildlife specialist. We called that person, who answered and said, "Oh, well, I don't deal with snakes, but what you need is through the New York State Department of Conservation. There's a website, and on there you can put in your zip code and it'll tell you who are rescue specialists in your area." So we did that. We called a number in our local town, nobody answered. And then we called the second number and a woman answered. And we told her the situation. And she said, "If you can bring the snake to me, I will take care of the snake and rehabilitate it. I have a vet who deals with snakes. Um, put on some gloves, use like a dustpan or something to try to like get the snake and put it in a box and bring it to me." And she was volunteering at the ambulance corps in all the way in another town, a half an hour away. And we were like, great. So my son and I went out there, and as gently as we could, that poor snake like clearly was afraid and in pain. Gently as we could, the two of us managed to get the snake into the box. We drove it to this woman. She looked at him and she was like, "Yeah, okay, so, he scratched here and lost some skin." She used technical medical terms, which I'm not going to try to, I don't know what they were. And then she looked at where the wound was and she's like, "That could be sutured. He's going to be okay." And he's got, she was checking him out. She's like, "He's got energy. He looks really vital. My vet's going to fix him. He's going to be fine. He's going to have to overwinter to heal, and we'll release him next spring at Teatown Reservation, which is a local wildlife, preserve near us, where my kids all went to camp there when they were little. We do hikes there all the time, tons of wildlife in nature." I'm telling you this story because a few things. First of all, I'm so, so, so deeply grateful to the universe for putting me in the right place at the right time to be able to be of service to help another living being. I am so grateful that my son was home, because I don't know if I could have done this by myself. Like, I don't know if I would have made 7 phone calls. I might have given up after the first or second phone call. I don't know if I could have picked up and moved the snake by myself out of my own fear. I'm so grateful my son happened to be home this day to help me with this. I'm so grateful that there are people in the universe who care enough about other living beings to help, to literally dedicate themselves with skill as somebody who can help in an emergency or crisis, and who takes on that role for no reason except because of the love in her heart, right? To help be creatures. And she said to us when we brought the snake to her, she was thanking us. And we were like, "No, no, no, thank you. You're the one who is available and makes yourself available to literally save lives." And she's like, "Yeah, well, most people, don't bother to rescue a snake. They'll rescue furry animals that are cute that they see hurt, or they'll rescue turtles, but people don't stop to rescue snakes." And she's like, "It's such a great thing, right?" Um, the other reason I'm sharing this, besides just gratitude, like humility, gratitude to the universe for letting me and my son be of service, is that Today is an eclipse. It is the new moon in Libra. There is an eclipse in Libra. It is Erev Rosh Hashanah, which is the beginning, the day of this evening, which starts the brand new year in Judaism, in the Jewish cycle. Eclipses are endings and beginnings. It is the end of a certain cycle and a shutdown and a like unplugging and rebooting and a brand new beginning. It's a clean slate. It's a wiping the slate clean. And at this very highly energized moment in the universe, this snake appears, and a snake itself represents renewal. It is as ancient and mystical and metaphorical as you could get. The snake sheds its old skin and does not die and is reborn and transformed with new skin. The snake is the symbol of the Ouroboros, which is the snake swallowing its tail, which is a symbol in alchemy and in all kinds of ancient religion that represents that everything dies and lives and is born again and dies and is born again. This circular patterning of renewal, renewal, renewal. And here we are at a time of renewal, and I find a snake that is on the verge of potentially dying, and I'm put in this place of helping it to have what it needs to continue to live. It just felt very like, whoa, like it just felt big. It just felt big. It just felt like this is so emblematic and symbolic in this moment of like, will this be a year of life or death? Will this be a year of people coming to each other's aid? Of people caring deeply enough about each other, about life, about the earth, about other beings, and helping. And I just got, a beautiful video from a dear friend of mine who is in North Carolina and was severely affected by the massive destruction from the hurricane and the floods in Asheville. And the thing that struck me most in her message was that she was talking about how kind of surprised and like overwhelmed in the best way she's been by people's generosity and people's kindness to each other in the time of crisis. And that instead of pursuing violence or selfishness or greed, people have been checking on their neighbors and offering each other water and electricity. And here, I have supplies. What do you need? Let me help you. And I feel like what an incredible, I have goosebumps. What an incredible message from the universe at this moment. Like, what if we all came from more love and asked, how can I help? Who can I help? Please, God, use me as a channel, as a tsinor, I'm the conduit to do the goodness in the world and to share love and to, just hold and elevate doing goodness in the world where I can, however I'm able, use me, use me. That was actually, I believe it was a prayer from St. Francis, right? Use me to be an instrument of your will and your good and your love in the world. So, anyway, I hope this message and this story is inspiring to you, is finding you at a good moment in your life. Happy new moon in Libra, and wishing everybody a very, very sweet, happy, healthy, peaceful, loving new year. Thanks.